So excited to have you. I know I'm not who you expected to be talking to. I'm Claire, not Alyssa. But, a little last minute change for anyone that doesn't know, Alyssa had a little family emergency. So I'm popping in and more than excited to chat with Jarrod this morning. And Jarrod, we're just excited to learn from you. I feel like every time you speak and share, it's really evident that you've done a lot of learning in your life. And I just find that so inspiring because I think that's a success clue, right? That you are not afraid to continue learning and to continue being a student. And I always hear you speak out of the overflow of what you've learned. And so I'm very excited for you to share with us this morning. Will you start just by introducing yourself, telling us your story? I know you have a story in the industry that's longer than it works. So if you can kind of give us the full picture and then how you found it works.
Well, I was born at a very young age. And good morning, everybody. I'm excited, Alyssa. I'm honored to be on to just kind of share what I call some transferable truths this morning. I've been looking forward to having this discussion and connecting with you ladies for some time now. We were originally supposed to have this conversation, I think it was last week, Tuesday. And of course, Claire, you know what happened with, many of you know what happened with the Texas storms, right? And I'm here in Houston, me and my lovely wife, Portia. And we got caught in that storm. And so we were without power for about 4 or 5 days, no power, no water. Now, listen to the irony in this. Texas is the energy capital of America. Isn't that interesting, right? So we're the energy capital of America, and we can't give energy to millions of Texans for almost a week. And so there is such a transferable truth in that understanding that even those that have a lot sometimes can lose a lot. And so I'm excited to be back. I'm so fired up about this morning, and hopefully I will say something to you that would encourage, cajole, and reassure what you've already learned from Claire, what you've already learned from Alyssa, what you've learned from all of these phenomenal women, some of you for the last weeks, for the last months, and many of you have been blessed and fortunate to have these powerful women in your life for several years. And so we never take that for granted. First of all, we've been in the profession, myself and my wife, of direct sales, network marketing since 2004. I was sentenced. No, I'm just kidding. I came into the profession in August 2004. And like so many of you, I came in. Brittany, first of all, you and your son are off the check. I'm sorry. I'm what they call ADD. So I'm all over the place. Brittany, you and your son on IG, man, that dude has so much rhythm. I'm like, man, I'm in the mirror practicing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get on reel because of him. Anyway, but I see some familiar faces on here. But so we've been in the space for, Jesus, it'll be 17 years, Claire, in August of this year. 17 years. Now, I like to tell you that we came into the business and shot right to the top and started earning 6 figures or 7 figures within our first year, like so many stories we see these days. But in 2004, networking and direct sales was not as embraced. There was not this awareness as it is today. It was almost like what Bitcoin was in 2009. That's where networking or direct sales was back then. Like, we had to enroll people. Listen to how old I am. We had to enroll people using applications. Anybody ever had to do that? Like, you have to hand a person some paper so they can fill it out. Like, they would literally, Brittany, they would have to put their name, watch this, their social security number. We'd have to get their date of birth, all of this stuff on paper, Trista. And watch this, they would have to entrust us to receive the information and then go home with it. Yeah, we'd have to take all of these apps, go home, and then enter them into our typewriters. Not just kidding, into our computers. And so, and so that's the phase and the stage we came through the profession in. But here's the beauty in that. The beauty in it was we were able to learn aspects of the business that a lot of people miss out on today because things are so much simpler. Things are so much easier. I love what Les Brown says. He said, if you do in life what's hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. And so we did the hard things, showing up to the meetings. And now, listen, ladies, for the first 6 years of my career, we didn't even earn $100,000, Sherry, for the first 6 years combined. So if you take if you take my total earnings for my first now listen, I wasn't dabbling. Now I was working the business part-time because I had a full-time career. I was in sales with a Fortune 10 company. I can't tell you the name of the company, but its initials are AT&T. But anyway, we were there. So I was working with this telecom company. Morning, I had a sales team. I had gotten up in management. And this is the beautiful thing about our space is that you learn. You read these books and you get exposed to these sharp people. And so when you go back to the real world, you're a genius because they're like, wow, you know how to dress well, you know how to speak well, you're not down, all the time, you're not having, isolated conversations to ruin people's reputations. You're positive. And so you start promoting. And so one of the things that I tell people in our businesses, look at the totality of your life and what this experience has done to it, not just at the bottom line of your income. Because here's the reality, and I want you to write this down, ladies, this morning. Impact drives income. Would you write that down, please? Your impact will drive income. So if you impact a few people, you'll have a smaller income. If you impact a large group of people, you will have a large income. And so there's no reason to look left or to look right, to compare, to compete. Just focus on growing your impact. And your impact is a derivative of your influence. And so I learned all this stuff, these crazy ideas and concepts back then. And so I was applying them, and it wasn't showing up in my network marketing business because it never shows up. Do you realize that you don't reap in the same season you sow? Isn't that interesting? Write this one down, please. A seed of nothing produces a season of nothing. Isn't that good? A seed of nothing produces a season of nothing. So in other words, for those of us that are sowing, because you have two different seasons in life. You've got the sowing season, then you've got the harvest season. And I have learned that the harvest never looks like the seed. You can count the amount of seeds in an apple, but you can never count the amount of apples that will come from one single seed. And so this morning, while I was so excited, I get to sow. I get to sow seeds because, write this down, words are seed. In the beginning was the word. In the beginning was the word. In any Genesis, the beginning. In any beginning, there's going to be word. So in 2004, I was getting words, getting seeds, but for 6 years, I didn't see a harvest of 6 figures. Shucks. For 6 years, I didn't see a harvest of 6 figures, but I was still sowing 7-figure seeds. So I commend you for being on this morning, because a part of this is you sowing, Trista. I see you at the gym. She's at the gym, still sowing. And I'll talk about what you sow and all these types of things. But here's what happened, Claire, and then we'll fast forward the tape because I can get long-winded like a Baptist preacher. So I'm gonna fast forward the tape. Here's the deal. So those first 6 years. Now I'm going to all of the trainings. We didn't have Zoom back then. I don't even think we had Skype. We did not even have Facebook Live, Jessica. There was no Facebook Live back then. Jenna, there was no Instagram. Instagram was not even created. TikTok was not even available. So I couldn't get on and do my little dance and stuff. I'm gonna do one today. I'm ready today. But we had to go to the meetings. We had to go to the trainings. We had to get in the car and drive the hours. We would go do presentations, and I would drive 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, to go do presentations, and no guests were there. It got so bad sometimes that I would drive to go do presentations, and the person I was supposed to do the presentation for, you know where I'm going, wasn't even there. But I kept sowing. When you show, you sow. Whenever you show, you're sowing. I'm sowing because nothing is ever wasted. Nothing we've been through is ever wasted. It is harvested for the harvest season. And so year 7, some things changed. because the only constant in life is change. And let me give you the acronym for change. Write it down, please. CHANGE. Choose happiness and never give excuses. Choose happiness and never give excuses, because you know what an excuse is? An excuse is nothing but a well-planned lie. And I had so many excuses. You know, one author told me that excuses are the nails used when building a house of failure. And how many of us know some professional excuse-itis makers? How many of us, by show of hands, have ever been the person that could find an excuse in every solution-oriented situation? I've been there. Oh, I don't look the part, and oh, I don't have the right background, and oh, I got in too late, and oh, you know, she's getting help, and oh, they're more this, and oh, that team has, and so we start looking like I did. I started looking for all of the excuses for why the business wouldn't work. But year seven is the number of completion. Year 7, something changed. I decided. That word decide, it rhymes with homicide and suicide. It means something or someone dies. Les Brown says, you must die to who you are so you can give birth to who you will become. And so, you know, it's just like this business is just like a marriage. Oh, yeah. You can't date this business. No. Notice I didn't say this business is like a wedding, because we get excited about weddings now, don't we? Oh, we get our clothes right. Yeah. Get your slip on, your Spanx. Yeah, you put your hair together. Oh, everybody comes to the wedding, but who shows up for the marriage? The wedding is the event. The marriage is, oh, you start seeing some things in the marriage. I'm like, I didn't know you did. I didn't know you were this. Yeah. I didn't know you loved clutter. I can't deal with clutter. I didn't know clutter is your friend. Can you put the toilet seat down, sir? All right. So in the marriage, you start finding out some things. And that's how this business is. When you marry it, you start finding out some things. Watch this. Not about the spouse, but about you. Oh, here it is. About yourself. And I love this idea of what our business is. You know what our business is? And this is what I learned in year 7. And then I think we'll go to question number 2. Question number 1. I guess the question number 2. What I learned is, essentially, our business, it works. If you were to categorize what we do, I tell people, we're one beggar telling another beggar where we found some bread. That's it. We're one beggar telling other beggars where we found the bread.
That's so good. That's so good. I love that. I always say, you know, as a mom struggling when I found the business, it went from me being able to tell a friend, like, my situation has finally changed, to being able to say, hey, I have something that can change your situation too. So I love that. I love that analogy of, if you were a beggar who found some bread, why wouldn't you tell the other beggars where to find it too? You know, why would you keep it all to yourself? That's good. So one thing Alyssa really wanted me to ask you, and then I have a couple questions that I've added, is apparently you had a revelation that she wanted to hear more about, and she wanted you to share with us. And this is leadership level, by the way. This is only leaders on this. And so I don't know what it is, but she said to ask you about it. We had a quick exchange, obviously, because of the nature of what she had to go do. But I'm curious. So tell us about it.
You know, what was interesting, I told you we're supposed to have this conversation last week, and then the storm came. And, you know, we were still trying to plan to see if we could do it, because I believe that opposition is the sign that you're in position. Write that one down. Opposition is the sign that you're in position. So I'm looking for all types of ways to still do the call. I'm like, maybe I can pull the car out of the driveway, do it in the drive, but there was no Wi-Fi connection. So the internet service is horrible. We got 13 lakes in our community. So, you know, everybody uses Wi-Fi. You know, T-Mobile, I call them ghetto mobile. They don't work in the States. They work, you know what I'm talking about. I was thinking about changing to AT&T, but I've got a love-hate relationship with them because they wrongfully terminated me. But anyway, that's a whole different can of worms. So I couldn't do the call. And then when the storm hit, I told her that, man, I learned so much. And I got a fresh revelation as a result of that storm that I want to share. And so here's the revelation. Now, revelation means revealed, right? That's what revelation in revelation is not a religious word. Revelation is really a kingdom word. But watch this. Here's what revelation is. So revelation, how many of you can see this? You can see these iPods? That's what they're called, iPods. How many of you have iPods? You got everybody can see it. If you still got those strings coming down, I'm praying for you. You need some iPods. That's why people ain't joining it, because you're not on iPhone. You need to get on iPhone. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So listen. So you can see this, right? This represents information. Okay? These iPods represent information. Here's what revelation is. What happens with information, because some of the things that I'm saying this morning, Jenna, Jessica, Kelly, Gabby, you've heard this information, Brittany, before. But here's what happens. Because of your experiences in life, it blocks and hides and covers up the information you already had. What do I mean by your experiences? You're not good enough. You don't have the right hair color. You're not the right size. You'll never be anything. Oh, see, remember I told you words. Any beginning started with words. When you began to doubt yourself because you heard some words. When you didn't feel you could do this, you heard some words. When you didn't believe that you could accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish, it was some words that started or created that beginning for you. And so the information that has been shared, that has been deposited, is covered up because of your experiences. But here's what revelation comes to do. Revelation, I told you, it means to reveal. Revelation comes now through another set of words, because every season in your life is connected to a person. Let me say it again slowly. Every season in your life is connected to a person. That's why I always tell people, or ask the question, who are you connected to? Because who you're connected to is taking you somewhere. And this was the revelation I got. The reason why we had no power for a week is because we weren't connected. Some of us are close, but we're not connected. So here's what revelation does. Revelation comes to reveal what was already there. So I got this revelation from the storm, because when the power went out, and the first few hours, it's cold, but it's not cold. It's different when it's cold and then it's cold. You ever had somebody say, "Are you hungry?" Are you hungry? So when you say a word twice, it makes a different meaning. Are you hungry? Or are you hungry? Are you cold? Or is it cold? It was cold, but it wasn't cold yet. The first few hours, and so we're running around, and I'm drawing from past experiences because I was born in the States. My mother's from Nigeria, so I was raised in Nigeria from age 5 to 12, and so they would take power all the time throughout the day. That was normal living for us. Whereas you would go to school, walk to school, 3-4 miles, and you walk back home, and then when you got home, power would be gone. And so you would celebrate if you saw the light bulbs on the outside of the house, because you would know you would have power. But it was normal to have power or be without power at least 3, maybe 4 times out of a 7-day period of time. So I'm pulling from those past experiences at this power outage that we had last week. And it was cool the first few hours. Thing was okay. It wasn't cold. Still had food in the fridge. I'm like, this is America. We're in Texas. You got our own country. If you don't know about Texas, man, we believe in Bibles and bullets. Texas is interesting. I'm telling you right now, Texas, we don't play in Texas. I'm letting you, this Bible Belt, they don't play in Texas. They'll let you know what's going on. They give you a hug, warm pie, all that type of stuff. But don't cross the Texas. They'll let you know. In the love of Jesus, right? Now, so we're looking around, and 6, 7 p.m., still no power, water's leaking or water's coming out, slow temperature. And I started noticing it's getting really, really cold. We got a 6-month-old son. And, he's looking around and he's, okay, mommy and daddy is here and granny's here, but it's getting cold. So we wrapped him up. Now we're walking around Houston in our homes. We all got on our jackets with our hoodies on because it's getting cold. We had heard this storm was coming, but just like anything else, most of us, you hear storms are coming, we hear things are coming, and we're not prepared. Revelation point number 1. When a storm comes, the question you have to ask yourself, am I prepared? Because let me clue you in, ladies and leaders. A storm is coming. They always come. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You've been through a storm, not just in life, but in business. Put 333 in the chat if you've been through a storm. Storms are coming. It is a part of life. Storms will always come. The question is, are you prepared for it? And we were not prepared for this type of storm. Not for this long. So now everything is powered by electricity in our home. These new modern day homes, everything's powered by electricity or solar power because we're real cute and fancy, right? We're real fancy now, boy, like network marketing direct. It's real cute and fancy now. Everything is powered by social media. What if social media was disconnected for a week? Shucks. Here's the question, storm, are you prepared? If Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even MySpace was shut down, some of you still on MySpace, for a week, are we prepared? Or will your business, hear me, grow cold? So we're like, okay, they're not going to turn back on these lights. Okay, we can't get any news. There's no power. The phones are charged up and they're now losing power because you're texting and texts won't go through. You're calling and calls won't go. All of the towers are down. And so we go into survival mode. This is what happens with a storm. A storm causes you to go into survival mode. And then we luckily go out into the garage, we get in the cars, and I get a phone call. My dad, who had been through a storm, he says, "What type of stove do you have?" I said, "It's a gas stove. We tried to light it manually, but it won't do it." But here's what happens. When somebody has survived a storm, listen to me. When somebody has survived a storm, listen to me. When somebody has survived a storm, they have wisdom. That's the purpose of a mentor. The purpose of a mentor is wisdom without waiting. Mentorship is the shortcut. So he gives me a set of words. In every beginning, there's words. He gives me a set of words, instructions on how to light the fire because my business, my house is cold. So we go to the stove. We do exactly what he said to do. Some of us, when we're in a storm, the question is, are we doing exactly what we've been instructed to do? Because in the business, you're going to be hit by a storm. Oh, you're going to be hit with storms in this business. I wish it was going to be palm trees and sunny Florida every day. But baby, sometimes even Florida gets hit with hurricanes. Shucks. So we light the stove and it's a fire. All 6 burners are lit. And so now we all come from upstairs because at first we were upstairs because it was a little warmer, heat rises to the top. We come into the kitchen area. We're all there. Why? Because the fire's there. And here's revelation number 2. If you want to get lit, you got to get around the fire. I learned to survive. You have to get around the The fire, because here's what happens. If you don't get around the fire, you may die from frostbite. And so many of our businesses are dying. They're on life support because we won't get people around the fire. Who has the hot story? Who's promoting? Who's moving up the ranks? That's who I need to get around. That's the fire, because I'm in a storm, and storms come to visit us all. Here's what I've learned about a storm. Are you ready to write this one down? You're either in a storm, you just left a storm, or Brittany, a storm is on its way to visit you. Well, I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. You're still going to be on the storm. Well, I'm a good person. I love people. You're still going to be in a storm. Well, I've built a business for years. I've served people. It's solid. It's strong. My volume is up. Volume is the worst indicator of if you're in a storm or not. So get around it, and we get warm for that night. Next morning we wake up clear, and the power, because we want to sleep it off. I was like, okay, we going to bed early. We're going to sleep this thing. Anybody ever tried to sleep off something? You're like, when I wake up, it'll be better. Come on. So we're going to go sleep this one off. When we wake up, it's going to be better. Well, we wake up and there's still no power. And when we woke up, the water was off. Oh my God. All right. I realize there's some storms that are short and other storms that are longer than what you expected. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Put 333 in the chat. That there was a storm that visited you. A health storm that visited you, that you just thought, oh, that was a cold. No, baby, that's COVID. Oh, shucks. You get visited by a storm in your personal life. Oh, I just thought we were just having, marital chat. No, he's filed for divorce. What? When did you have time to file? Oh, that's a storm. Oh, I thought my child. Oh, no. Child is. That's not what I taught him. That's not what I taught. Where did you learn that word? Storm. Oh, here's a storm I love. The same people that you served with or served in one season will be the same people that try to sabotage you in another season. It's all a storm. So that second day, we now have no lights and no power and no water. All right, and so let me give you the revelation. By the third day, now we make it through the second. By the third day, Portia, my wife, is like, okay, baby, we got to get up out of here. I mean, there's only so much I can take. So we started to call the hotels, and the hotels are like, no, we're sold out. I said, we're still coming. They said, no, sir. We're sold out. There's no room in the inn tonight, Jesus. I said, no. I'm coming. We're on our way. We're loading up. The lady said, sir, there's no room. I said, I don't think you heard me. I'm going to come sit in the lobby. She said, sir, please don't come. And I said, I was just kidding. I just wanted to see. She was not having fun. She says, we have no power here either. Shucks. Sometimes the people you call them are going through the same or a similar experience that you're going through. And you've got to learn in a storm who you can count on and who you need to count out. Is this helping anybody? Put 111 in the chat. I feel something here this morning. You got to know who you can count on and who I got to count out, because there's some people that I think have power. There's some people that I think have the answers that are struggling in the same storm I'm struggling with. And so this is why you got to be careful of what you listen to, what you watch, what you see, and what you hear on social, because just because it showed up on social doesn't mean it showed up in the back office. Just because, oh God, I'm coming. Just because it looks a way doesn't mean it is the way. So now we're in the car. We're in the car. Now, you can't be in the house now. We're in the car, and we don't have the garage doors open because we're like, you can't press a button like you did in one season. See, in one season, you can press a button, power just comes, door, oh, both garage doors open up. Now there's no power. You're pressing the same buttons. You're doing the same things you did last season when you had power. You're putting up your host posts. People ain't responding. Uh-oh, you're doing your videos. People, the same buttons you pushed last season when you had power, you don't have that same power. So the same buttons you push don't give you the same results. And here's what you've got to learn how to do. Do what's hard. Sometimes you got to do things manually. Oh, I'm boring, y'all. Okay, let me go to the next. Claire, I'm boring them. I see everybody's tuning me out this morning. I understand. All right. So can I wrap this up? Let me wrap this second question up. Okay, I promise you it's gonna get better. I got some good stuff to say to you. I'm gonna wrap it up. So I had to now manually lift up the garages. This is the revelation I got. There's some things, and sometimes in our business, that you have to manually do it. Can I suggest to you in the winter season of your business? In the winter, is it winter where you guys, ladies, are? It's winter here in Houston. I don't know if it's winter where you are. It's winter, and because it's winter, the grass, shucks, is not growing. You missed the revelation. Okay, can I ask you a question? Wherever you are, does winter always come? What comes after winter? Y'all put it in chat. Spring. Yes. Okay. Does spring always come? Wherever you live, does spring always come? Okay. What comes after spring? Summer. Oh gosh. Does summer always come? It always comes. And then after summer is fall. Okay. So what does that mean? Life is a season. Your business is a season. There's seasons in our business. And so you've got to recognize what season you and your business are in. Because you know what we do? And I'm guilty of it. Oh, I'm guilty of it, especially in it works. I'm guilty of it. We start comparing our season to her season. But here's the truth. You missed her winter storm. In the winter seasons, nothing grows. So I was mad at the lawnmower service day before yesterday. They showed up at 8 a.m. in the morning to cut grass that ain't growing. And then God gave me revelation. Oh, God. Do you still work in the winter? When it seems like nothing is growing externally, because all of the grass, my backyard and my front, it's all brown. But listen to me, my neighbors next door, all of their grass is brown too. But nobody is saying let's leave it. Nobody's saying let's leave the community. Nobody's saying I'm leaving because the grass ain't growing. Nobody said, oh man, our grass is dead. We're in a winter season. We might as well move communities. We might as well leave because nothing's growing. No, because we've been through winter before. We know it's just a season. So for those of you, I got this strong revelation doing this whole storm. And man, I told you I'd get long-winded. I just get all these things. Somebody's pulling on me this morning. So I'm really trying to speed this thing up, but every time I try to move on, something else shows up. But let me help you understand something. Do you know that balance is a season? You have never heard exactly what I'm about to teach you right now. Like this is going to be worth your whole time right now. I'm about to release you. If you're ready, say I'm ready in the chat. Say I'm ready. Here it is. Let me free you. For you that are attempting to be a good mom and a great wife, great businesswoman, all at the same time. You want to have your prayer life, you want to have your work life, your relationship, you want to do all of you. Like, man, I'm looking for balance. How do I balance this? Balance is a season. Brittany, I've discovered that focus is a season as well. I told you two seasons cannot exist at the same time. So can we clear it up, write this down? When you are in balance, you're out of focus. Shucks. And when you're in focus, come on, you're out of balance. Because balance and focus are seasons. So when I'm focused, we can't be balanced because if I'm too balanced, I end up broke chunks. And if I'm too focused, they end up frustrated. And so I've got to learn what season I'm in. During my winter season, maybe the season where I'm more balanced. Why? Because during spring, I'm focused. All right, Claire, I'll turn it back over to you. I wanted to say some more stuff, but we don't have a whole lot of time. I'm boring everybody this morning. I can see it.
You can hang out right there. You can just stay. We'll give you all the time in the world. This is so good. This, I love it because we wanted to hear you last week. We were ready to hear you last week.
Yes.
We needed to hear you this week because we needed that revelation. That was exactly what we needed to hear. It was timely. It was right. And so we should have just trusted the timing and knowing that this was going to be right. So I have a question to transition into that I feel like will go along with this, especially after all of us are getting our mindset reset with you right now. So this is something I'm facing. And so I can't imagine that I'm alone. Once you've done the work and you've elevated your mindset and you're speaking life over your business and over your life and you're diligent in it, but then what happens, you sit down to work and here comes somebody from your organization or somebody from outside your organization and they just like poop all over you, right? Like with their negativity and their mindset and the sky is falling and all of it. How do you coach them and bring them up to that level without getting brought down into what they're, Britt said, happened to me this morning. So it happened to me this morning too. How do you coach through that? And how do you protect yourself from being brought into it?
That is such a pivotal question. And we all as leaders face it. And so can we go to the word? Let's go to the word. All right. So the greatest networker that ever lived. He like us, when he got a calling, a revelation to go build, he went and did some recruiting. Right? Because if it's a dream, you've got to have a team. If it's a scheme, you can do it all by yourself. But so this young man, he gets the revelation, right? And now he goes and does some recruiting. He recruits 12 people, 12 men. And none of the 12 men that he recruited did what he does. He was a teacher, a rabbi. That's what rabbi means, master teacher. He went out and recruited accountants, physicians, business owners. James and John, they owned a fishing company. that was the business of the time. I'm going somewhere. I hope you come on, help me out. Put 333 in the chat. Let me know if you're still with me. I don't want to lose y'all this morning. Come on. I wish we were there in person. I'd come touch on your shoulder and stuff like that and know you're still with me. Okay, all right. So watch what he did after he did some recruiting. He's teaching these men, because that is what we're called to do. We're teachers teaching teachers to teach teachers to teach. All right, let me slow it down. We are teachers teaching teachers to teach teachers to teach. But before he taught them, he would always be away getting connected to his source. Every morning, I would always quit. Like, why is he always, every morning, he was getting his alignment. You cannot feed when you are not full. I can't feed if I'm not full. I got to be full. So here's what I learned. Colin Powell said this. He says, when people cease to bring you their problems, you are no longer their leader. Everybody take a deep breath. I know, it's tough. Take a deep breath. When people cease bringing you their problems, you are no longer their leader. So when they call me with these problems or the sky is falling, is because they see me as a solutionist. I'm a solution. That's why you call. So my job is to be so full of word. My job is to be so full of wisdom. My job is to be so full so I can feed you. So I look at it from a perspective of, I want you to call. Now here's the challenge though. Here's the challenge. My nurturers, my yellows. I don't know what, if you know the colors, the yellows are the nurturers, save the whale. Yeah, I love you. And you want to help everybody. You want to save everybody. You made $10,000 last month. You gave 8,000 away or 9,000 away. You told your husband, don't worry, it's going to come back. Jesus is going to multiply. I understand. I am not a yellow. I'm a blue-red. So blue's like having fun and red is like getting to the business, right? I like being in the fun-based business. I like having fun and all of that type, but I'm about business, right? And so I'll make 10 and I give away 2 because I need that 8 to do some other business. You understand? But here's the thing. After I coach you on something, I expect you to implement. Can I give you an example? So Jesus, he was off praying, and this guy brings his son to Jesus's disciples. Disciples means student. It's not a religious word. He brings this problem to Jesus's students because y'all been walking with him. You've been. I mean, he's showing you host support. He's showing you how to do this stuff. He's showing you how to do through it. He's showing you how to post. He's showing you what filters you. He's showing you all this stuff. So I'm bringing my problem to you because I'm expecting, because of who you've been connected to, you have the answer. And so now watch this. They couldn't help solve the challenge. So here Jesus comes. The guy tells Jesus, hey man, I've been here with these folk that you've been training, you've been teaching, you've been showing all this stuff to for the last several years. They've been with you and they can't help with this problem. Can you help? I mean, I need you to help my son. Watch how Jesus responds. He doesn't respond to the problem first. He responds to the team first. And here's his response. How long must I be with you? Like, how long are we going to talk about the same stuff? You had the same issue, the same sky's falling last week. You had the same issue last month. Your business went backwards. You went from double down to diamond, and the sky was falling. We talked about this last season. Watch this. Write this one down. You cannot correct what you fail to confront. He corrects them. He says, how long must I be with you? I've told you this type of challenge, this type of problem only comes out with much prayer and fasting. You got to do this to get rid of that. And here's the challenge with most people. They don't want to do this to get rid of. And so as a leader, it's incumbent upon you. I told you every beginning start with words, right? So this year, 2021, I told our team, I said, this is the year of multiplication, all right? This is the year of multiplication. I spoke that because I said, we're not adding to the business, certainly not subtracting. We're going to divide, yes, we're going to separate some people. Some people need to be separated. Yeah, well, I mean, their season is up. I mean, sometimes when people leave, doesn't make them bad, and others, because they stay, don't make them good. Some people can stay, and how many know some people can be cancers? And if cancer stays, what's it do? It spreads, and it metastasizes. So there's some people that you won't go. Like you and all the volume, y'all can go. Just because you bring volume doesn't mean you add value. Shucks. Preach, Jarrod. Just because you bring volume doesn't mean you add value. I would rather lose your volume so I can increase my team's value. All right. So anyway, that was just for free. So here's the deal. So we started right now. This was the challenge I gave the team. For everybody that's going to be connected to me for a Harvest of Multiplication 2021, I said, I want you to write down 100 goals. Yes, 100, not 10, 100. I want you to write down 100 goals. And I want you to state them as such. I am so happy and grateful now that I am ... I am so happy and grateful now. Like this is how it looks. So I've got this thing in pictures and frames all over my house. I am so happy and grateful now that I earn $1 million a month in net worth by March 2021. Jarrod, you really believe that? No, just write it. Oh, you don't know how this stuff works. You don't know how this works. I know you don't. A lot of people don't, because our business is not logical. You know that? Like when I talk to Stephanie and Joel, it's like, yeah, we do between 30 to 50 million a month in sales. Their organization does more than 90% of the companies in direct sales network marketing. That is not logical. How many of you want a non-logical blessing this year in 2020? Like you want God to bless your business so much so that it does not make sense. I'm tired of stuff making sense. I'm tired because stuff that makes sense is small. I don't want it to make sense. I want it to take faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the, evidence of things not yet seen. So I told him, you got to write it down. Dream a big dream. The worst thing that can happen is you realize a small dream. Dream, I'm saying, so this is why this is so hard for most people. It's so hard for most of us to write down 100 goals because life has defeated you. Life has made your mind set. Your mind is set on lack. Your mind is set on not enough. Your mind is set on trying to make it. Your mind is set on survival. Your mind has been set. So when I talk about your mindset, that's why scripture says, be ye transformed by the by the renewing, constantly renewing. I'm constantly renewing my mind. I write down my 100 goals. So you can't teach anything with any degree of authority that you yourself have not done. So I didn't type them, I wrote them. Scripture says, write the vision plain on tablets so that he or she that sees them will run. If you want to get some runners, you better start writing. You better start writing. Now, I'm going to tell you this, 95% of you that are listening to this morning, you're not going to write 100 goals. 95% of you will not do it. You won't. Why? That work is too hard. This is the work. So can I give you the definition of work? Let me pull this back up. Here's the definition of work. Are you ready? Let me give you the definition of work. Let me give you the definition of work. I just posted it, and I want you to get strong revelation on this. How often do you write your 100? I wrote them one time. I look at them every single day. They're all over the place, actually. Great question. So here's work. It's defined by Webster's dictionary, listen to it, as the activity involving, listen, mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. Work is mental or physical. So most of us, we focus on the physical aspect of work because that's what we've seen and that's what we've been taught. But the work to multiply, the work to get a multiplication result is mental, not physical. You couldn't do enough physical work. Stephanie and Joel could not do enough physical work to do 30 to 50 million a month in volume. You couldn't put up enough poster posts. You couldn't travel to enough markets. You couldn't sponsor or recruit enough people. You couldn't enroll enough loyal customers to do 30 to 50 million a month. So what are you doing? I'm working the business with my mind. Now, I know this sounds esoteric. How many of you have ever had a dream board? You got dream boards? Come on. You got a dream board, right? That's nice. That's a great start. That's beautiful. It's wonderful. I'm not against it. I'm for it. It's a great starting point. But can I help you go to a whole nother level? Are you ready? Mark always talks about this. I teach people how to dream and, have a dream and dream and dream. So when you go to his office, you see this dream board. You see, everything's all about dream. Because that's how the school teacher becomes the private island owner, the helicopter owner, the plane owner, the office buildings owner, the company owner. He and all his kids are debt-free. And the grandkids are multimillionaires. Okay, I'm boring you, Jen. I see. I understand. But let me show you how to transform this thing. Talking about, I took the idea, the concept of a dream board, and I said, what if we create a dream environment where we see it everywhere? Let me show you what I mean. So this is my office. Can you hear me? This is my office. Look at what's on my wall. Do you see that? It's not only there, it's everywhere. Can y'all hear me still? It's everywhere. Look at this. It's everywhere. Dream home. I'm so happy and grateful now. All of my goals, I got them written there. This is just my office. Okay, let me take you over here. So this is my office door. Let me open the door. Watch this. Watch this. So you got to get crazy about this stuff. It's called crazy faith for a reason. Y'all want crazy fruit, you got to have crazy faith. This is my wife's office. Look at this. Guess what she has up? Because we are in alignment. How can two walk together if you don't agree? I'm not just here to carry her bag and her purse. No, we're working together. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? So it's everywhere. I'm so happy and grateful now. It's all over the place. It becomes a part of your life. Everywhere. You got to see it because you become what you think about. Watch this. Watch this. Look in the hallways. This is upstairs. This is all downstairs. It's everywhere. Look at the hallway. Look at that. It's everywhere because we create, when we have people come do maintenance work, like, well, what's all this stuff? Why you got all this stuff up? I said, that's why I live here and you work for me. See, oh, that's arrogant. No, I got to give people conscious interrupts. Watch this. Look at this. Look at this. It says, I'm so happy and grateful now. Look at this. I'm so happy and grateful now that we have 100 VIPs in our It Works business by December 31st, 2021. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Look at the bathroom. Look at the bathroom. It's on my bathroom. Look at that. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Look at this. I'm so happy and grateful now. I don't have a dream board. I got a dream board. Look at the game room. Look at the game. The game room, we don't play games in the game room. Why? Look at this. I got them. We got them real big. Those are everywhere. Look at that. Look at that. It's everywhere. Yeah. We got them everywhere. I'm so happy and grateful. I would take you downstairs, but I don't want to wake them because they're still down there. I got a 6-month-old, so. But anyway, it's everywhere. It's in my living room. It's in my dining room. Because I've got to see, you know what we do? You know what most people do? You know what you have in pictures? You know what you have in pictures? Most people have in pictures their memories, where they've been. You know what I've got in pictures? Where I'm going. You know how the mind works. Your mind will either replay the past or pre-play the future. No. You got to put this stuff everywhere. It's called crazy. I've got it. It's plastered everywhere. We live in a gorgeous 4,000 square foot estate that backs up to the lake, and we drive a Maserati and a Porsche and all that stuff. But I want people on the team doing that. I got to go to a whole nother level. I just don't want to visit Mark Pentecost's island. Wilkins got to have it. God didn't stop making islands after Mark bought his. No. My island is going to be between Jamaica and Bahamas. It's going to be called Jahamas. Y'all are invited. All right. Because why? We got to do leadership retreats. Tony Robbins he has an island in Fiji. Come on, y'all. Like, I'm preparing now that when the next storm comes, like they say the storm going to hit on Friday, we leave on Wednesday in the private plane and go to a warm, sunny place. Lock down the house, all that type of stuff, and be gone. And come back when it's done. Not just for us. I said in a private plane. That means family and friends get on the, come on. Now, after the storm passes, I'm working right now where I've got a goal. One of my goals that I had was I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm tithing 6 figures for 2021. I said, that's thinking too small. I said, I'm going to tithe 7 figures for 2021. Yeah. God, you want me to give $1 million? You got to give me 10. Right? So ladies, listen to me. I think I'm off topic, but I'm on message. But here's what I want you to hear. You have to put up the pictures and the scriptures. Pictures and scriptures. I put them up. I keep them up because if you don't, the pain of the present storm will cause you to forfeit the fruit of the desired future. Claire, I'll turn it back.
I'm sitting here typing, trying to type everything you're saying as you say it. Well, we have it recorded, so we know we're going to watch it again. My last question for you was money mindset, and you just gave it to us. So that was perfect. You knew where we were going, and you took us there. And this has been powerful. We have a lot to unpack. We have a lot to discuss, and we have a lot to take and learn. And I think we're all going to have some new artwork on our walls, which I'm excited about. Jarrod, thank you so much. You really brought it, and you gave us so much today that we'll carry with us. I'm confident for all of 2021. You gave us principles that will stick with us. So thank you so much. That's my alarm to go be with my kids. So thank you so much, Jarrod. We just appreciate your time. Have an amazing day.
Thank you, guys. See you later.